Sometimes a boundary is, I don't want to hear your opinion about me going to the theater. Sometimes you just need to be quiet and mind your own business, regardless of that you brought me into this world. It's not your business. But my sister won't or can't set a boundary. And for the rest of her life, she is going to reap the consequences of that choice, the lack of being autonomous. She doesn't even know the meaning of the word. I actually told her last week what that means. Because consent, boundaries, and autonomy never existed in our house. I mean, it never existed. And that's what is so sad. The only way to be your own person is to be so drastically different from your parents. They can't control you if you deny their religion and their God exists. If you acknowledge their God exists, they can control you. And I love being an atheist because I can have autonomy. I can be safe. But that's not why I became an atheist. It's just one of the perks. I don't want to have a relationship with a God or be in a religion that creates these kind of people, where every relationship is toxic, controlling. I mean, if our relationship was a meal, I would have botulism. It's that poisonous. It's like being poisoned from the inside out. That's why I'm glad I'm an atheist, why I'm glad I'm a feminist, why I completely reject my parents' homophobic tendencies. I don't want to be like them. But I remember that sometimes not wanting to be like them is probably the most common way that you later become like them. We call it overcompensation. And when I travel back to live with my parents in August, they're going to have a narcissistic meltdown when I tell them I'm an atheist, a feminist. When I tell them I live my life so different from how I'm raised because I don't see the good in it. I don't see anything that I want to have in my life in the way I was raised. I don't want to force people to conform to how I believe. I don't want to punish people for leaving home and getting on with their life when they're halfway to 30. I don't want that kind of thing. She was robbed of going to prom, having a social environment. She was robbed where she was never dated. She's never had sex. She's never had an opportunity to have real friends because my parents sabotaged all of her friendships, forbid her from having those friends. They found a reason she couldn't be around them. And it usually wasn't legitimate. If my parents were a plant, it would be a nightshade plant, a poisonous one. There's nothing healthy about it. And any of the good times I had, or she had in her childhood, was good enough and happened so seldomly. It kept us there trying to get that feeling back. That's why abusers treat their victims well, rarely, but once in a while.